Hi Pisces, welcome to your March 2022 chakra reading. This is the third time I've recorded this. First, I didn't have the video on, and second, I didn't have the mic on. So I don't know what that means, but I feel like maybe I'll figure it out by the end of your reading. So when I am reading chakras, I basically see these 7 energy centers, which is what I focus on, are just the 7 main energy centers. I see them in my third eye. And then I'll get kind of a little bit of a story, similar to how one tarot card might have, several traditional meanings, and then a tarot reader will focus in on what this might mean for you. So I will have varying sort of interventions that you can do for your chakras, and at the end of the recording, I'll go over those. When I do a personal reading, of course, I would have you walk away with just 1 or 2 things so it doesn't get overwhelming. But in this case, it's a general reading for a group. So the idea is to give you several things that you could do and then have you pick from what resonates. So when I start a reading, typically the thing that we need to address first will come up first. And what I saw first for you was your sacral chakra. So your sacral chakra is normally down here, and yours is sitting up to the left. I sort of see your chakras as I'm face to face with you. That's why it's kind of on the right of the picture, but it's actually on the left. And so it's sort of up where your throat chakra is, kind of sitting to the side of your throat chakra. So your sacral chakra is responsible for your passion and pleasure. Yes, it's tied to your sexuality, but most importantly, it's sort of the womb of creation, okay? So this can mean in an artistic sense, or this could be, in an entrepreneurial sense, or, how creative you can get with writing a term paper or doing your job. It can mean lots of other things besides creating a piece of art. But what I'm getting for you is that there's some new things that need to be birthed, that need to come through. And they've been sitting in this sacral chakra too long. And now that's why your sacral chakra has moved up to where, your throat chakra is, which is where the stuff that is seeded and grown, seeded as in seed, S-E-E-D, seeded and grown in your sacral chakra is actually birthed through your throat chakra. And since you're just having the ideas and you're not birthing any of them, this is coming up like, hey, we need to, get this stuff out, right? So you might be feeling like either totally overwhelmed with ideas, or you might have this thing where you're like, on Monday, like, this is it. This is the greatest thing. This is what my life is going to be about now, or this is the next piece of art I'm going to create, or this is my next strategy, or whatever it is. And then the day after, you're like, oh, that's trash. And now I have this new great idea. Okay. And that's because all of the stuff that's sort of in there, right? All of the ideas are not meant to be implemented, but you do need to get them out. And so that's why I'm suggesting free writing, because it's going to help both of these chakras at the same time. So you can free write. This is option 1. You can free write all the ideas that you're having. Just get them all out on paper or, on your phone, whatever you write with, and let them flow out. Don't go back and start editing them. Don't start putting them in order or prioritizing them or anything like that. Just get them out. I have a feeling you will see some kind of a pattern. However, I'm not telling you to look for a pattern. But this is going to help get the ideas out. It's going to help loosen things up a little bit. And it's also just going to help strengthen this throat chakra, which is a little bit over to the right side. So it's a little bit left of center as well, or right of center as well. And it's just got a little bit lighter energy in there. So it really just needs to be stimulated. And free writing is a great way to do this. Singing just came through. Sing anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Sing it loud. If you want to look up seed mantra chants and do some chanting, even better. But if that feels weird to you, just, put on Spotify or app, whatever you use, and just sing loud. Doesn't have to be good. Loud. Like, activate your throat. Sing from your throat. So if you're a trained singer, sing from your throat. Okay, and what you could do also with your free writing, option A is to write all the ideas out. Option B is to be thinking about who you are, because the throat chakra is also responsible for your self-expression. Not necessarily just about knowing who you are, but letting yourself outwardly be who you are. And I'm sensing that you're a little bit trepidatious, a little bit timid. And maybe you have been, and maybe you're going through a big transition, or actually I get the sense that you have went through a transition a while ago, but you almost like haven't come out with it, if that makes sense. And so really just feeling good about who you are, right? Just having a sense of like who you are, like what's great about you, And so in your free writing, you can ask these questions, write them down, and then answer them. Who am I? Why am I this way? And why am I here? Why am I here? Okay? You can answer all three. You can answer one of them. It doesn't matter. I get the sense the entire time you're like taking notes and overthinking this, and I'm going to get to that because I can see that in your solar plexus chakra and your root chakra. Truly free writing is just not picking up your pen, right? Like, or whatever, nonstop writing. And I understand, especially when we're in our heads a little bit, that this can be difficult. I would set the timer for 5 minutes. You want to write, if you can go longer than 5 minutes, like just go as long as you go. But if you feel this is going to be hard for you, write that. This is dumb. This is hard. I don't know what to write. Nothing's coming out. This isn't working. If you're really feeling those ways about it, write those things. But the point is, keep writing. If you have to write the same exact sentence over and over for 5 minutes, do it. I can almost guarantee you that you won't. Some other stuff will start coming out, okay? And you don't have to do anything with this. You don't have to analyze it. Again, just let it out. You need to free write this message. Just be, just be, just be. This is your motto for this reading. Just be. So speaking of sort of operationalizing everything and trying to have a little too much structure or having structure forced upon you, I can see that in your root chakra. You have a little bit here of this like stuck energy. It's overall actually in pretty good shape. So, and I get the sense that because you're like experiencing some all over the place stuff with ideas and maybe this sort of sense of like, I don't know if I can sort of let people know who I am, or I don't know if I'm even okay with who I am. You're like trying to fix that by getting this sense of home and grounding. You're trying to fix that with your root chakra, but the problem isn't in your root chakra. And I can see that because I see it elsewhere and because I don't really see that many problems in your root chakra. It's good to keep this one aligned, especially because it's kind of the anchor for the rest of our chakras. So if you can be in nature, do that. This doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You don't have to go to a national park. You don't have to like climb a tree or, put up a hammock. Just put your feet, your bare feet preferably, on earth. Can be dirt, can be grass, it doesn't matter. Put your feet on the earth. If you can, really lay down, get in it, hug a tree, whatever kind of being in nature feels like to you. If you can't, for whatever reason, like be outside or there's not a safe place, that you can, sit for a few minutes, then look at pictures of nature, whatever kind of nature resonates with you. And this really does work. There's a subtle energy that is carried even in, photographs, paintings, especially like artwork, but it really does work. And I'm not going to go into it. I might post about this or do a video or something. The other thing you can do for your root chakra is a little bit of cinnamon sugar. So it came through pretty strongly that it's both of them together. So I kind of feel like it's almost like you just need just the smallest touch of cinnamon, that the sugar, like that blend of the sort of savory and sweet, is going to be really good for your root chakra. So have some cinnamon toast, cinnamon rice, put cinnamon and sugar in your oatmeal, make a cinnamon roll. I don't care. Just something that has cinnamon sugar. Have some horchata, whatever you want to do, cinnamon sugar. So the next thing is this, your solar plexus chakra, and this is responsible for your doing, right? This is our power center. This is how we get stuff done. It is also where our ego lives. So it makes sense that, if you have an overactive, or more masculine sided solar plexus, you might be a little arrogant. If you have overly feminine solar plexus, you might be a little more timid, but yours actually looks pretty good. It's a pretty strong chakra. I get the sense that you do get stuff done, right? You're not a procrastinator. It's more like you get paralyzed is what it feels like when things aren't working out. But again, this looks really good. I can see there's like a little bit of over masculine energy in here, and that is just because you're trying to do, like, sometimes when things aren't coming together, right, when we're having this like, I don't know who I am, or I don't know how to be, or I don't know what to do with all these ideas or with my life or whatever, these old patterns, like society tells us, if something isn't working, you need to work harder. Right? And so the sense I'm getting is that you are working harder, not smarter. You actually don't need to work harder. The only thing you need to work harder on is not doing all that much, okay? The only thing you need to work harder on is just being. There's nothing that you have plenty of doing in you. And when all the other stuff gets sorted out, you're just going to feel naturally inclined to do stuff. It's not going to feel stressful. You're not going to feel overworked, right? You're just going to feel productive in a comfortable way. And so just chill out, right? Like, actually, I'm writing a prescription for having some fun, right? Have some fun. Will really just chill this chakra out. You can do some chamomile tea in the evening. That'll help, especially if you're like, been up overthinking about what's going on and your mind is racing. You know what? I had grapefruit written down, but it doesn't feel right anymore. Chamomile tea. There's something else. Agave. If you can put agave in anything, that's going to help. Okay, so let's talk about your heart chakra. You are a lover. Okay, I can see not just like, yeah, you're a good person, you love people, like, especially as it relates to the people that are important to you, the people that you call your family, which doesn't necessarily have to be blood relatives. You really love them. Like, you just envelop them in love. It's almost like they could live on your love. Like, you're sustaining them, you're keeping them going. And a lot of times when I see that kind of love, this very almost like even protective vibe love, I'll see, a little bit of over giving, and I'll see some leaking in that heart chakra and it just being tired and overworked, but I don't really see that in yours. I see, you're giving this good love, and I think the reason that it's so balanced, even though you're loving so hard, is that you're not doing it out of obligation. You're doing it really because it makes you feel good. And because that's how you think it goes. Like, family's family, right? Like, you take care of family. and you love doing it. But you could definitely, do a little bit more of this for yourself. And so I got the sense that this might be a little bit difficult for you, and that makes sense because otherwise I wouldn't be sensing that you were having a problem with it. So one of the things I started suggesting to my clients that seems to be working better, rather than like focusing on loving yourself, when you're this person who like gives and gives and you have this great love for other people and you have this joy that comes through the process of loving, here's what seems to work better is I want you to like visualize, right? So in your mind's eye, I want you to see your family, like whoever that is, the people you love. And I want you to see yourself standing, like maybe 6 feet in front of them and emitting like this basically cloud, a whole recording stopped. Okay, so emitting this whole cloud of like love around them, okay? So, and just feel it, right? Like a spotlight. It could be colored if you want, it doesn't have to be. And just feel how good it feels to like be able to give that kind of love and be able to truly envelop people in that kind of love, okay? Just sit into that. Feel how good it feels. Then I want you to put yourself in that bubble, okay? In that cloud. Feel how good it feels for yourself. Sit in that for as long as you need to. I'm going to challenge you then to remove your loved ones, to remove the family, and just sit in that cloud on your own. It might be hard for some of you. That's okay. You can even like try this and keep working up to it. So, okay, let's talk about your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is responsible for your connection to what would be a higher power. So, or something greater than yourself. So you might identify that with nature, God, the universe, just like a universal force, creation energy, whatever it is, you are innately connected to it. You're very well connected to it. Right now, you've got a little bit lower energy going on in that crown chakra. And I pretty much think this is just because of all the other stuff that's going on. It's almost just like trying to take a break. Like you were overworking it and you have this mechanism that kicked in where it's like not going to let you overwork it, right? So instead, it's just sort of not giving you as much energy to work with. And I think this is because again, you're like trying to operationalize this. So if you meditate or pray or both, it's like you are like have an agenda, okay? Which is okay. Like sometimes we're praying on a certain thing or we're meditating because we're trying to get information about something in particular. Sometimes we're using it to, in our manifestation, but you're overdoing it. Again, be, just be. So I'm going to give you 2 options for your crown chakra. One is to try some mindful meditation. This is to slow you down, to get you connected to the present moment, which is that where that universal force, that source energy, God lives. It lives in the present moment. It is the present moment. You just need to connect with it, okay? You don't need to be doing anything else but just being with it, okay? And so mindful meditation is really good for that. This is where you just focus on your breath, and if you have any thoughts, and monkey mind's normal, you probably have a million thoughts, especially if you've never done it before, you just say, okay, I had that thought, let it go. And if you have to do that 58 times in 58 seconds, then so be it. You're getting good practice. And neurologically, it is actually working the muscles of your brain, just like if you started to work the physical muscles in your body. And it's harder in the beginning and it gets easier as you go. If you've never meditated before, or if you fell off the meditation wagon, which was a message that came through pretty strong for probably about half of you, do 1 minute, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. I would do that for 3 weeks. I don't know what this 2 is for, but I would do it 3 times a week. I would do it every day if you could, but 3 times a week for at least 3 weeks. The other option for your crown chakra is to do some visualization. So you can visualize a white light energy just coming in and cleansing. I'm doing a little healing for you by accident. Sometimes I do that when I think about something while I'm doing a reading. So just a white light energy on that crown chakra. Let me feel that again. Yeah, that feels okay. For some of you, you might use a golden light. And again, do it like a spotlight shining down on that crown chakra. And there's nothing else you need to do. Just visualize that. Nothing else. Whatever's supposed to happen will happen. Don't get caught up in like what this is supposed to be or what anything is supposed to be. Okay? All it's supposed to be is whatever it is. And then your third eye chakra just needs, it's taken a breather. It's what I call on the bench. And I'll see this. It doesn't mean it's not working or it can't work. It means it's taking a timeout. It doesn't want to be used, tested at all. So when it's ready to come back in off the bench, I think you'll be able to use it. And it'll be able to sort of snap back into shape and into place fairly quickly and easily. And this is pretty common when there's stuff going on with the rest of your energy and everything's just sort of shifting and moving. And it really does now occur to me that you're probably going through a shift energetically. And that's why things also can feel all over the place. And that's why just sort of being and letting things settle in can sometimes be helpful. But back to your third eye, when things are shifting a little bit, it's almost like, why waste the energy? It's your third eye is like, I'm not going to waste my time on this chaos right now. Not that it's bad, right? Because we all have shifts and transitions and it can feel hard for us, but it's also good for us. It's the best thing for us. So your third eye is like, hey, whatever comes through, they're not going to believe their messages. They're not going to trust their intuition right now. They're going to try to attribute it to like other things that are happening in the physical reality. Or they're just not going to notice it at all. So it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to waste my time. They're doing the most with everything else now. Their other chakras are doing the most right now. And so I'm just going to chill out for a bit until I'm ready to come back into the game. The last thing I'll tell you is if you want to do some more passive stuff, I would do some 324 hertz for your solar plexus chakra. And there's like a ton of them free on YouTube, or you can just type, frequency solar plexus chakra. I use 324. It's based on, it's sort of the middle frequency that you can use for this chakra. It's based on a 432 hertz scale. And so you'll see a little bit of variation and people get crazy about it, but it's not really that big of a deal. But I do like the 432 scale better. I'll probably do like a poster video about that too. And then the other thing that you could do passively for your root chakra is a 256 hertz. And either one of these, like I would do the root chakra when you're going to sleep. And you could, because this is pretty well aligned, you could go straight to doing that like all night while you are falling asleep is an optimal time. So if you can, there's plenty of them that are like 8 hours and they have a black screen. And then the 324, you could almost put on, just like pop it in during the day. You could have it like, whatever, just stick your headphones on and like let it just be like the backdrop for what you're doing. Okay, Pisces, thanks. Happy birthday.